Shalom and welcome to another in our series of podcasts from Temple Beth Am, a dynamic center for conservative Judaism in Los Angeles. This is Meditation and Mindfulness with Rabbi Adam Kligfeld.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning to those who are here in my office at Temple Beth Am. Good morning to those who are joining on Zoom. Good morning to those who are watching on Facebook Live. And hello to anyone who's listening to this at your own pace and time via the Temple Beth Am podcast series. It's rainy here in Los Angeles, which I love. It should be a little bit colder. For me, it's actually very evocative of mindfulness because my first real extended experience with the practice of mindfulness meditation was on the Holy Isle in Scotland, where you felt like you were very far removed from civilization. And it was wonderfully gray and rainy and like ponderous. Let's turn that off. And it somehow invited this internal sense. You wanted to go inside. So there's something about there being a gray, rainy day which allows me to slide into this perhaps even more easily. I want to speak and then I'll have us meditate on what might be happening with a very rare trup, a very, very rare musical Torah reading sign over one word in this week's parsha. This week's parsha is Chaye Sarah. Begins with the death of Sarah, and then a lot of the parsha is filled with the narrative, which we hear like 2.5 times, of Abraham sending his servant to go find a spouse for his son Isaac. And that takes up a significant portion of our narrative. And when the servant is going out, heading up north to find a wife for Yitzchak, he's been given instructions by Abraham. And then kind of just before the encounter at which he's going to meet Rivka by the well, he kind of pauses for a little prayer that God make his journey successful. And we have the word Vayomar, and he said, and whom was he speaking to? Himself. And on the word Vayomar is the first of only 4 instances in the Torah. We have a Shalshelet. Shalshelet is the longest trup in the Torah. Depending on how you learn to read it, it would be something like Vayomar. Shalshelet meaning 3, like three musical ups, and then it resolves. Everyone does it a little bit differently. And do we know why some words got trups? No. In our Rashi class, Rick Muller likes to make trope drashas all the time. They seem to be as old as the text itself, and sometimes it's interesting to imagine them as being commentaries on the text. It's such a simple word, and he said. How many Vayomars are there in the Torah? So many. So what might be significant about the he said, such that the music lifts it up and turns it into something grand? Well, I think pausing before you're going to do something momentous is significant. And I think speaking to yourself before you speak to others is significant. And I don't think we do that enough. And one of the experiences of meditation is to listen to the world, listen to your breath, listen to the depths, listen to the heavens. But perhaps one other thing that we're trying to do in a mindfulness mode is to speak to ourselves. Right? We do so much speaking to others. But sometimes there are things that we need to tell ourselves. And they are important to tell ourselves before we go on the next journey, whether the journey is something minor or something major. So I like hearing the Vayomar as his meditation. He closed his eyes on the pathway, and he said to himself, and we get to imagine, the text gives us a little bit of language to what he said. We get to imagine what was the labyrinth in his mind that he explored? What was the conversation he had internally? And how significant was it to the success of his journey that he did that, right? I can think of innumerable situations just in the last day where if I had paused and spoken to myself for 5 seconds, let alone an hour, the situation might have been better. Just 5 seconds. Vayomar. just as long as it takes to sing the Shalet, right? You stop before you speak. I am okay, in a different place. So I want us to go with, he's not named in the Parsha, but we think of him as Eliezer on this journey, and to imagine what it might be like. Imagine the significance of an extended, thoughtful, meditative, patient speaking to oneself as a significant part of every day's journey. I invite you to close your eyes. And if you haven't already, place your feet flat on the ground in front of you, and your palms gently on your legs. Palms up. It's a stance of openness. Or palms down, which is the gentle embrace of self. And feel everything around you begin to slow and stabilize. You might feel even a little bit of dizziness on the way to the stabilization, as all of the movements, the gyroscopes of reality, just try to meet one another. But you're aiming to experience stillness, balance, harmony, bliss, quiet, and almost a visual, palpable transformation or hurtling over from your left brain, from your thinking, your analyzing, your assessing and your judging, to your right brain, your being, your resting, your believing, your wondering, your yearning. Try to create a cocoon that is mostly disconnected from various sounds around us. There's no such thing as perfect quiet, but you can push those sounds to the edge, reduce their import to this moment, and create an impermeable seal within which is you and this palace of tranquility that you are building. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And see if you can locate the place in your body where you're calm, where your mindfulness is centered. Is it over the heart? That the concentration of your tranquility? Is it deep in the belly? Do you feel it between the shoulder blades? The tension melting away? Is it more cerebral today, in between the ears? See if you can concentrate your wellness and your quiet in one focused pixel in your body. So all of your attention is to that spot. Every other piece of you becomes an extremity. There, but not the focus. Compress it down to a little dot that holds all of this serenity, and focus on it. Vayomar, and he said, Vayomar, a long conversation with himself that no one heard, but it was a song. The conversation was a journey in and of itself, and a crucial part of his journey. What is the song from you and to you right now? Do you need to sing to yourself that can come from no one else? If you were to pause and speak and listen inside yourself, how would it make the next journeys more successful? Vayomar. And he sang to himself. Sing to yourself. And listen to the song. And when you're ready, and even if you're not, come to the surface. We will say the closing meditation prayer together. You can pass it out in the room. I just have to find it on my many screens that are open. We'll say this 3 times. May we and all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May we all be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May we all experience true happiness that has no taint of suffering. May we live in great equanimity, free from burdening attachment to loved ones and contempt for others, rather with compassion for all. May we and all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May we all be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May we all experience true happiness that has no taint of suffering. May we live in great equanimity, free from burdening attachment to loved ones and contempt for others, but rather with compassion for all. May we and all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May we all be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May we all experience true happiness that has no taint of suffering. May we live in great equanimity, free from burdening attachment to loved ones and contempt for others, but rather with compassion for all. Wish you all shalom, namaste, Shabbat shalom. Good being with you all.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Thank you.
You have been listening to another in our series of podcasts from Temple Beth Am, a dynamic center for conservative Judaism in Los Angeles. If you enjoy these podcasts, we invite you to write a review on the Apple Podcast site or wherever you get your podcasts. For more information about Temple Beth Am Los Angeles, go to tbala.org.